Good morning and welcome. If you're here, you're probably thinking about moving to Placerville or one of our surrounding communities, and you're asking yourself questions like, why do people move there? Why do people stay there? What's great about that place? Well, today I'm gonna answer those questions. We're gonna share a cup of coffee, and I'm gonna share with you why I chose Placerville, why I've stayed in Placerville, and why I've enjoyed living here for the last 27 years. So stick with me to the end, and let's find out if Placerville is right for your family. Now look, you're you and I'm me, and our reasons and thinking on this might not be the same, but when I'm trying to make a huge decision like where to land and where to make the hub of my life with my family, I like to gather as many perspectives as possible. So my hope is today that my perspective, having lived here and chosen to stay here for the last 27 years, will help you with your decision. And if it does, let me know in the comments down below. But today is not a list of pros and cons or reasons to move to Placerville. I have plenty of videos like that will help you gather more information to make sure there's no deal breakers for you about living in Placerville, but today is personal. Today is about why I chose this community and why it's right for my family. If you've been watching for a while, welcome back. And if you're new here, well, I'm Rich Curtis with eXp Realty, and I've been selling homes here in the foothills for nearly 20 years. Now, I know right now I might not look like a realtor, but hey, it's Saturday morning and you're probably not in your office clothes either. So let's get stuck right into the reasons why I've chosen to stay in Placerville. When it comes to talking about Placerville, I'm not just a realtor. I'm also a father, a husband, and an avid outdoor adventurer. And all of those roles have gone into why Placerville is a good fit for me, and maybe for you as well. So let's find out. Now, I originally came into town in a beat-up primer gray 1967 VW Bug to take a whitewater guide school class. At the time, I had no idea how that one class would change the trajectory of my life forever. I went on to guide for over a decade down in Coloma, which is a little town just 15 minutes north of Placerville, and I met all of my best friends and even my wife while being a whitewater raft guide down there. Now at that time, I chose to make Placerville my home because of the beautiful outdoors here and the access to adventure, and it's still the same today. At that time, I was a whitewater raft guide, an avid rock climber, backpacker, snowboarder, mountain biker, and explorer. If there was something fun to do in a beautiful place outside, then I wanted to be there. And the Placerville area is overflowing with opportunities to do all of those things. Of course, I've mentioned this on the channel before because it's one of the best things about living here. If you stick a pin in Placerville, you can be at a spot for world-class whitewater rafting and kayaking down in Coloma in just 15 minutes. If you want to go rock climbing, you can do that at the Consumnes River Gorge just 25 minutes away. If you want to be on world-class mountain bike trails that are literally on the professional mountain bike race circuit, you can go to the Auburn State Recreation Area with just a 45-minute drive. And if you really want to step up your rock climbing game, you can hit Sugarloaf or Lover's Leap up Highway 50 in just 45 minutes from here. This place literally had everything I loved, all within an hour or less. Now, of course, the outdoor recreation isn't limited to adventure sports. If you like hiking, birding, chasing waterfalls, or just being outside, there's no place better to do those things than the Placerville area. So what if outdoor adventure sports aren't your thing? What's another reason I chose to stay here? Well, the second reason I chose to stay here, and especially to raise my kids here, is because it's safe. It's a very safe place to live. Now, the lawyers tell me I have to say that, of course, I can't guarantee your safety here, and no place is completely safe, and I didn't say you would be safe here. But the truth is that bodily crime is very low here, and that's really important to me as a husband and a father. You see, I grew up in a part of the Bay Area that had a lot of violence in the schools and a lot of violence on the streets. Violence was a big part of my growing up, and as an adult, I didn't want any part of that, and especially didn't want that to be a part of my kids' lives. I'm happy to report that my son is 10 years old now, and he's never even seen a fist fight at his school. That's very different than how I grew up, and I'm glad I'm able to give my kids that sense of safety and stability in their upbringing, and our community here in Placerville helps make that possible. Hey, if by the end of this video you still aren't sure if Placerville is the right place for you and your family, feel free to reach out to me via the contact information on your screen or in the description down below. I live here, I sell homes here, I raise kids here, and I've helped hundreds of families just like yours decide where to land in Dorado County. All right, one of the other reasons I've stayed here for so long is because of the community. It's a small town and everybody knows everybody, and the people are very helpful and very friendly here. When my kids were toddlers, walking up and down Main Street with them was like traveling with little mini celebrities. All the shop owners and restaurant owners that we know would grab them and bring them inside to talk to them and show them all the cool stuff inside. It was amazing. It cannot be overstated how valuable it is to live in a place where you feel like the entire community values your children. It's one of the things I absolutely love about living here. One of the other big reasons I've stayed here is opportunity. Now look, of course, Placerville's a small town. We don't have big industry or big employers here, but that doesn't mean that there's not opportunity. People who live here are very entrepreneurial, and Placerville really supports its small businesses. From our hardware store, to our little bookstore, to our bars, shops, and restaurants, Placerville turns out in support of its small businesses. In fact, during the pandemic, people in Placerville went out of their way to consistently get takeout from our local restaurants and to shop in all of our local shops in any way that we could. And I'm proud to say that the vast majority of our local small businesses made it through the pandemic and are still there today. And it's not just traditional entrepreneurship like small businesses that thrive here. El Dorado County is so gorgeous that we're frequently used as show and movie sets. And we have a thriving group of creatives that support that industry. From camera people to editors to location scouts, we have a lot of people here who work in the industry. Start up a conversation at the local coffee shop and you may find that the person you're talking to has worked on your favorite movie or show. Now, one of the main reasons I love living here is the pace of life. Now, this one can be a little weird and hard to quantify, so let me put it this way. People here value their relaxation and downtime. We may all not be doing it the same way. I may be out paddleboarding and my neighbor bass fishing, my eye doctor skiing, and my mechanic hitting the Rubicon for some four-wheeling, or my mother-in-law sitting downtown with her stitching group, but people here value relaxation and downtime, and you can feel that in the pace of life. For me, this is invaluable. Our lives have become so busy and so fast-paced that there's no time to be calm, connect with your family, do the things you love to do, and slow down. In my opinion, everyone needs this, and a lot of this. And Placerville is not only the kind of place where you can do this, but everyone around you is doing it as well. So instead of feeling the urge to speed up and keep up, you feel supported and empowered to slow down and connect with the people and things that you love. Hey, if you've made it this far and you're getting anything at all out of this video, hit the like button, click subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss another crucial video with information to help you with your move to Placerville. One of the other reasons that I love living here is the history of the place. I spent a decade down in Coloma as a raft guide soaking up all the stories I could find about the gold rush. Coloma, just 15 minutes north of here, and the discovery of gold there in January of 1848 is the entire reason California as we know it exists. Not even a month after gold was discovered, we signed a treaty with Mexico, which was in progress before gold was discovered, to end the Mexican War and turn the land that is California over to the United States. But we weren't a state yet. We found gold in 1848, and less than 2 years later in 1850, we became the 31st state in the Union, and this was no coincidence. When you live here, you literally live in the birthplace of California, and the signs of it are all around you. Now, I could bore you for hours with gold rush stories, but I won't because most of you would click off if you haven't clicked off already because of this diatribe about history. But from the blue jeans that you're wearing to the cable cars that our Bay Area relocation clients have probably ridden in at one time, a majority of the things you use and experience on a daily basis in California came from right here during the gold rush. That makes this place a part of the very DNA of our state, and it makes the experience of living here that much richer for me. Now, the last reason that I've chosen to stay here and live here for so long is that it's a quirky and interesting place to live. You literally never know what's gonna happen. On any given day, you might go downtown and walk right by some guys dressed in period-correct cowboy outfits, complete with six-shooters and spurs. On another day, you might find those same cowboys giving free stagecoach rides around downtown. You never know what you're gonna find down there. You also might just get locked out on the second-story balcony of the Carey House by the Carey House Ghost. And if you're wandering around downtown at night, you might bump into a goofy bunch of Ghostbusters doing a paranormal walking tour of downtown Placerville. It's never boring, there's always something going on, and you never know what you're gonna get, which makes Placerville a really fun place to live. So that wraps up my list of reasons why I chose to live in Placerville, to stay in Placerville, to start a business in Placerville, and to raise my family in Placerville. And I hope this helps you choose whether or not Placerville is right for your family. But of course, none of this information will really be of any use to you if you're not sure that there aren't any deal breakers about living in Placerville for you and your family. So to figure that out, click this video right here on the pros and cons of living in Placerville. And if you want to check out some of our other foothills communities and see if one of them would be better for you and your family, click this playlist right here on the pros and cons of our other foothills communities. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.